Hi everyone, and welcome to the Wilhelm organ. This organ was built in 1972 by the Canadian builder, Carl Wilhelm. It is one of the real treasures of organ building in this country, and Trinity, I think, is really blessed to have such an amazing instrument. I love playing it, and I love showing it off to anyone who will listen, which right now is you guys. So, the organ, most organs have multiple keyboards. This organ, as you can see, has 3 keyboards. The layout of the keyboards themselves are identical to piano keyboards. The only obvious difference is that most piano keyboards, these keys are white and these keys are black. Why it's the other way around in this case, I'm not certain. It's just the way it is. Organ keyboards are also a little bit shorter in terms of number of keys. There's also a pedal board, so I can play tunes with my feet. The pedals usually are taking the lowest part of anything that's being played, but more on that later. So how is the organ controlled? These things are called stops. Each of these knobs is responsible for a different set of pipes, and each of these notes will play one of these pipes. So if you multiply out all of these stops times all of these keys, you will get the approximate number of pipes in the organ. In this organ, it's about 2,500 pipes. So the principal sound on the organ is the main organ sound. You notice that it says 8-foot right here. 8-foot is the same pitch you would hear if you played the same note on the piano. If you pull out the 4-foot is a shorter pipe, so it'll give you an octave higher. The 2-foot is an octave higher than that. So the shorter the pipe, the higher the sound. If you think of an orchestra or a band, think of the size of the instruments. A tuba is a big instrument with lots of tubing that makes a low sound. A flute is a short instrument with not a whole lot of tubing, which makes it a lot higher. So I can play the sounds all together, or individually, or I can play them all together. We also have something called a mutation, which sounds at a different pitch. So here's the 4-foot, and here's the 2 2/3. So you put that together, which gives it kind of an interesting sound. We also have things called mixtures. Mixtures play a number of pipes at the same time. A mixture sounds particularly good when you put it with all of its friends. I will often add a mixture, like at the end of a hymn, if I want to give it just a little bit of sparkle at the end. One of the many cool things about the organ is that we can imitate a lot of different instruments. So in addition to the principal, we can also be flutes. There's also a 4-foot flute. I can also be a trumpet. And the dulcian is just a 16-foot version of the trumpet. Oops. And obviously some of the pipes aren't working right now, but that's okay. So again, we can play the pipes individually, or I can pull them all out. Kind of a grand sound there, I think. So the pedals are responsible for the lower sounds on the organ. So you'll notice here that we have the number 16-foot. That means that these pipes are an octave lower than the piano pitch. So here's what the piano pitch would sound like, and here's what the 16-foot would sound like. A nice sort of low rumbling, foundation, trembling type of sound. The posana is one of the bigger stops we have on the organ. And then again we have the trumpet. And then the 4-foot shalmai is also a version of a trumpet. And again, individually or all together. And put that together with the main manual, and we get so. Why do we have 3 keyboards? Well, each of the keyboards have a different, are responsible for a different section of the organ. This middle keyboard plays kind of the bigger pipes, which I would use mostly for congregational singing, for leading hymns, for playing some of the bigger voluntaries. The keyboard at the top, which is behind these kind of louvers in front of me, is controlled by these stops on my right. And again, the same kind of disposition of stops, 8-foots, 4-foots, can give me a variety of sound. I can play it softly, or I can pull everything out. Now, one of the unique properties of the organ is that I actually cannot control the volume by how hard I play the key, or even by adjusting how much I pull the stop in or out. If the stop is only half drawn, then the pipe doesn't get enough air, and then it doesn't sound very good. The only way I can make the sound softer without physically taking a stop off is by playing on this division and closing these shades. And as you can see, that's controlled by this little rocker pedal underneath my right foot. And finally, the lower keyboard is controlled by these stops, and these pipes are in this little box right behind me. And we have a nice variety of stops. I can play softly, or again, I can pull them all out. So, we have 4 individual sections of the organ, 3 manuals plus pedal. I can also combine them, so I can play manuals with other manuals without actually playing with 2 hands, with hands on different manuals, and pedals for that matter. So watch what happens now as I play with the pedals. So now watch this keyboard. I put on the coupler, so this keyboard is now being played by the pedal. I'll watch this note right here. It's like one of those look ma, no hands type of things. I'm playing with my feet, and the keys are going down up here. I can also do that from manual to manual. So watch this manual down here. I'm going to play this manual, or this key, and that key is going to go down. So I've connected the keyboards together so I don't have to work so hard and actually play with both hands at the same time. So that enables me to play lots of pipes all at the same time. And really fill a building with some nice glorious sounds. All right, I think that's all I want to talk about for now. So I'm going to play for you the voluntary I played on Sunday and give you just a little demo of the organ as I would normally use it on a Sunday morning. But that is how the organ is controlled from out front. In my next video, I will actually go behind the scenes and give you an insight as to what happens from key all the way through the instrument and how the sound is produced in the pipes. Thank you so much. I hope you are all staying well and staying healthy, and I will see you next time. Thanks, everyone.